everyone, and welcome back to the Dice Tower. I'm Camilla.
I'm Zee Garcia.
And today we're going to be taking a look at the newest expansion for Lost Ruins of Arnak. This is going to be Twisted Paths. It's going to bring you 2 new boards to play on, each with a little twist, I guess, on the mechanisms. You know, some new ways to play and interesting ways to kind of hone in your focus for the game. So Zee's going to show us kind of how each board works and what comes in the box, and then we'll come back and let you know what we think.
So here we've got a majority of the components that come in the expansion box. You're going to have a board with 2 sides, and we'll come back to that in just 1 second. I'll mostly focus on that. And then some more components to add to your base game, like locations, level 1 and level 2 here. Some new guardians. You've got some new idols you'll be shuffling in. You've got more assistants here to add into your game. So you can just mix all of this in and you are ready to go. So I'm going to move all this out of the way here. I'm going to show you the Owl Temple, which is on this side, and then we'll flip over the board and I'll show you what's going on the other side. I will note that these locations, the camp locations, are going to be a little bit different, a little bit remixed from what you get in the base game, but I'm just making you aware of that because I'm mostly focusing over here, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So here we've got these new tiles that you are going to set on the board, and they are half tiles, and you can pay to collect these. It'll show you if you're on that spot when you need to pay as an action to collect these. And if you get 2 of these, you can combine them like so, and it is a new location for one of your idol tokens. And in fact, they won't even cover up any of the scoring as the ones on your player board. So you create new locations to place those tokens. And so now when you gain one, be it from over here, because you take it from discovering a place, or wherever you get one of these, then you can now put it on one of those as long as you have the 2 halves. You'll also notice these locations here are secret passages. And if you manage to get up to that location, you are allowed to pay that and dock your looking glass, your magnifying glass, take this. It also then allows you to spend the resources at the top of the board to gain more of these tokens, because those are replaced with these half tokens. And now that can never move again, but you are given a new piece, this lantern that will begin back down here, and you can move it instead of moving the looking glass. So again, you have to stop the looking glass somewhere, lock it in place, something like this or like that one, and then you can start moving this one. And you'll notice along the sides here, there is not just the bonuses you get for the 2 pieces you already know, but now the new piece as well. Same victory points, and you'll score for both, but new bonuses as you are moving up the lantern, making your way up the board. So that's what this side is going to introduce, this new piece, and these locations that are going to lock it in place. So let's go ahead and clear this off, flip the board over, and I'll show you the other side. Here we've got the Spider Temple, and the Spider Temple introduces these new dark tablets that you are going to set down here on this track. A number of these on each spot equal to the number of players, so imagine a 3-player game in this case. You are going to then, over here on the board, see that there are these new locations, and these locations can hold an artifact card. The way this works is you are going to be moving your pieces up as normal, but you are allowed to, if you have a dark tablet, and you'll get them from various places on the board. If you have one of these, you have to take it from the leftmost place that still has one, by the way. You are allowed to, as a main action, take a card, an artifact card, from the top of the board, bring it down here, put your dark tablet beneath that. Let's say I'm playing yellow, so I would place mine right there, and then activate this ability. This card is going to stay here, and other players may activate it as well, as long as, again, their token is above this location. And you just draw a horizontal line through the space you're occupying. If the card is below that, then you are allowed to set one in place or activate one that's there. Everybody could do each one of these cards up to 3 times, and you'll notice that there is a number of victory points above it, and that's going to go to whoever has the most dark tablets beneath each of these cards at the end of the game with friendly ties. So if I keep moving up, I can keep setting these out, and again, putting dark tablets in that location, with other players being allowed to, of course, activate these as well. Now, at the end of the game, you are going to check back over here, and let's say all of these have been taken and placed. Well, every dark tablet that you used over here on this side is going to cost you a number of victory points equal to the rightmost empty space. So, as you can see, it could be quite costly, and there is a certain corruption you need to deal with when it comes to that. If anybody's still holding any of these, they will go back. And so if players had 2 of these, they'll go back to these spots. And again, we check the one that has the none, the empty rightmost one. So negative 2 points for every tablet. You then would also get that, but that only goes to whoever has the most. And so there's a push-pull mechanism there where you have to be careful you're not too corrupt when you are invoking those artifacts. So that's the idea with those, and that's what's going on the Spider Temple. That should give you an idea of what the expansion brings to the table. Let's go ahead and go back up top.
All right, I think it's worth noting right off the bat here that this expansion is designed to work with the Leaders expansion. Mm-hmm. It says that in the rulebook, it's very upfront about it, that it's designed to work with that specifically. And if you don't have the Leaders expansion or don't want to use it, you're going to find it to be quite a difficult time playing on the maps. They're not saying don't.
Yeah.
It's just going to be tricky.
Yeah, they do say sort of, okay, well, if you want to do that, play at your own risk.
Right.
I will say I wish that they were more clear about that, because if you look at the front of the box, all it says is expansion for Lost Ruins of Arnak, base game required.
Yeah.
In a fairly small little banner, also, to be fair. I get that they're saving the beautiful artwork, for most of the cover, and that's fine, and it does say it there, but I wish it was even more pronounced, I have to say.
Yeah.
That they're like, hey, get Leaders first. Leaders is an amazing expansion. Get that.
Right.
This is the last or second to last expansion you should get.
Yeah. And I think, I wish that they, like you were saying, would take it a little further and say on the cover clearly, we recommend using this expansion or recommend getting it, because there's also symbology in the Leaders rulebook that's used on the Spider side of the map.
That's right.
And so if you don't
explain it.
They don't explain it. So if you don't have Leaders, you're not going to know that.
Yeah.
Kind of had to go down a rabbit hole to figure that out, because it's been a while since I'd played with the Leaders, or with that Leaders board specifically. So yeah, they didn't include the information for it, which means it's required.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think the rulebook was really easy to get through. I mean, kudos for that. You can, if you know Lost Ruins of Arnak, you can play on these new maps with a 5-minute read.
Yeah, absolutely. They are fairly simple changes to what's going on in the main board, the original board, or even the sort of extra boards that came with some of the other expansions, the temples. I think they managed to show some restraint, and I applaud them for that, for giving you something funky, something a little bit different. They sound really cool, they play really well, but they are not a slog to try to understand or rewire your brain as to how Arnak already played.
Right. And I feel like it also gives you an avenue to pursue a strategy, but it doesn't determine your strategy.
Sure.
It's not like you're going to have to play this way. And so I applaud that. It's like, hey, here's a little something to throw into your strategy mix and find your own way through.
Right.
So I like that.
Yeah.
I do have a slight component issue with the game. 2 things. One, the Twisted Paths is the same punch board as is used in the big box, which means you're going to get a couple things in there that you don't need if you don't have the punch box.
Oh, yeah.
Not a big deal, but also like, it doesn't mention it anywhere in the rule book, so if you're just getting this, you're going to be confused by that.
Yeah, there's some dividers, basically, some card dividers that are meaningless to you if you don't have the big box.
Right, and so it's like that would be confusing if this is the only product you're seeing.
Yeah.
The other part is for the owl side, those little tablets that come together, some of those are really tight, and after one play, I did damage a couple of them a little bit. And that is unfortunate. So it doesn't quite go together well. In the future, I know that. I wouldn't force it together. I would even maybe just put them on the table next to each other instead of trying to make it go in. By no means did it break the game.
Yeah.
By no means. But just something to be aware of that doesn't fit.
Yeah.
As easily as I would want it to.
And they've had that problem in the past. I know some of the characters have punch, character like the
newspaper guy, the
journalist. He has a couple of tablets that are supposed to be pressed into his player board, and they fit way too tight. Yeah, I do wish I know that they make one punch. It's not cheap to make the punch. So they use the same one for both things, but it doesn't really then mean that you can put something in and out that easily. It will damage that thing.
Just make them all a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Or make that part a little smaller. So I'd rather it loose than tight like it is.
Right. So anyway, it's a small thing, but I agree with you on all those points.
Other than that, everything is what you would expect. The artwork is gorgeous. The production is quite high in the tablets and in the cardboard punches. They feel very kind of deluxe. So that was a couple little small qualms there. But getting to kind of the meat and the potatoes here, how do the two different boards play? Like I said, I think it helps give you some flavor, some, salt and pepper for your strategy, but it doesn't feel like it's forcing you in a way.
Yeah.
And I think that while I have one side of the board that I think I prefer, which is the owl, I'm still not confident after multiple plays saying that because I still find myself thinking about the other side also. So I think that they are very unique and they're ones that change the strategy just enough to where I'm still thinking about it after I play. I'm like, should I have used the dark tablets more, the negative points? I don't know. Here, I find myself min-maxing on that board, whereas on the owl board, I find myself just like combo-tastically happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that the two sides of the board are so different. They did not find one thing and then do two twists on that idea. These are two radically different ideas. And they are both fun. One of them being so good, the tablets, that they had to give you a penalty if you do it too much. And I love that corruption idea. If you're someone who doesn't love the whole, you can do something tremendously overpowered, but you shall be punished, then you maybe won't like that one as much. The other one is just sort of more rewarding in a way. But both are really good. I think I might like the spider side just a smidge more than the owl side. But I love being able to use one of my idle tokens and not give up victory points by doing that. It is just more goodies. That's great. That feels really good.
Right. And I think it's really fun to play through this also with the Leaders expansion and try those different powers on the boards.
Sure.
Like I had a lot of fun playing the Mystic, specifically on the Spider side of the board, because he can go and he can get those extra dark tablets and he's okay getting the extra fear because he wants to be able exile them to kind of power up his ritual or whatever he's doing. I think it's a ritual. And so that was really fun and exciting to kind of play into that. Oh, and then I get extra tablets. But then do I use the tablet for this extra benefit or do I put it back over here in the pool, So anyway, just some really, really good decisions on both sides of the board that I think is fun. So
I agree. I did forget to mention, by the way, the dark tablet, you're allowed to use it as a regular tablet if you want to. You don't have to do the dark stuff with it, and then you just put it back on the track. So you're allowed to do that too. So it's also just making you tablets. If you just want tablets, but you don't want to do that stuff. Which
is so fun because then you have that one campsite where you can go and get 3 tablets from that site. Anything else before we go into final thoughts that you wanted to talk about?
No. Okay. I think this is a nice slim package. And just remember, while you get a few other extra bits and pieces here, it's really 2 new maps that's front and center. That's what you're getting. Everything else is cool. There's some new tiles if you want to play solo that are, change up the formula, updated for this. But the meat and potatoes here is 2 new boards to play on.
Okay. All right.
You want me to go into it?
Or I can. I'll start here.
Okay.
I really, really like this expansion. Next to Leaders, this is my favorite expansion. I say next to it because I think it is required in order to play this. I would not try playing without Leaders.
Sure.
And I would not recommend trying either. So for me, I'm going to come down at a 9. I think the only thing bringing it down is that couple component issues, there that I have, and the fact that it's not clear that you have to have Leaders. It would be nice to be able to fit in without that requirement. But this is the one that I would absolutely recommend to buy at the same time as Leaders to somebody. Right. I think it is some great takes on the strategy. If you're somebody who plays a lot, it's just going to help you kind of widen what you can do. Both sides are going to feel really good with trying to either min-max or get into those different combos. And it fits so seamlessly into the base game. Once you shuffle in these new tiles and the new guardians and the new assistants, you're not even going to know they're in there.
Sure.
And I love that. So I love how seamlessly it fits in, but still allows you to continue to stretch your wings in this game of strategy. So for me, it's a 9.
I'm intrigued that you like this more than the campaign one, because I know you really like that one. I like that one too, but I agree with you that this is also my second favorite. I think the Leaders is like a slam dunk. Leaders is one of the best expansions to any game ever, in my opinion. This is more goodies, and it's fantastic. It is not as like essential as that expansion, in my opinion. But I'm also giving it a 9 because I also think that it is just tremendously fun to have 2 new experiences in a fairly small package. They're giving you a lot of variability, replayability. You are going to be able to explore both of these boards a whole lot before you get bored. I think if I had to like break down the boards, I might give the Owl side like an 8.5 and the Spider side a 9, but very close. It might even be closer than half a point. So I agree with you. This is a really fun expansion, and it's so mind-blowing that they're still coming out with expansions this good to Lost Ruins of Arnak that's been around for a while and has already had quite a few good expansions. So, yeah, this is a winner. If you play Arnak a lot and you want to mix it up some more, this is a winner for sure.
Yeah, definitely almost kind of seems like the expansion that we didn't ask for, we're so glad we have again. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't itching for a new map for Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Right.
But man, they absolutely nailed it. So that's 2 9s from us, 2 Seal of Excellences here for Lost Ruins of Arnak Twisted Paths. Thanks for joining us. I'm Camilla.
I'm Zee.
And we'll see you in the jungle.
Hey, thanks for watching another video here on the Dice Tower. We really appreciate you stopping by and checking our things out. Thanks so much for joining us today. And hey, if you really like what we're doing here at the Dice Tower, then there are different ways to support the Dice Tower. One of those ways is through Patreon. We have links in the description of this video, and we have links to lots of other things we do down there, so definitely check it out. But either way, we're glad you watched us. Tell your friends about the Dice Tower. Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vassell, and I hope you enjoyed this video.